Greetings and welcome back to Let's Play Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, where we'll be continuing in the third case of the game, the return of the great departed soul, Trial Part 4, the Old Bailey. And maybe we can finish this case. I don't know. Maybe in this episode? I feel like we're really close to the end of it, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. The waxwork plot. It all began at the scene when I saw the waxwork and the note tucked inside its jacket. The actual body of the victim, as indicated in the note's instructions, was beneath the experimentation stage. The body had to be arranged in certain ways to implicate the defendant, which was my job. I enlisted the help of the entire forensic investigation team to dress the scene appropriately. The truth about the execution 10 years ago is a state secret of the highest level. I had to protect it. Interesting. So I was right. The stage and the machine were all specially designed for the deception. So it seems, and all meticulously prepared. You did well to see through it. You're a very shrewd boy. Okay, don't look at me like that. Kinda scary. So kind of you to say. And what about this autopsy report then? All I did was record the location of the body as being in the Crystal Tower instead of under the stage. That makes sense. That's all? That's a terrible corruption! Only my team were aware of the deceit, and then only under my explicit instructions. Nobody else at Scotland Yard know anything about it, I assure you. We must be thankful for small mercies, I suppose. Well, I believe that testimony has clarified everything. There's no particular need for cross-examination, I would say. No, I disagree. I can't shake the feeling that something's wrong. She still won't talk about what happened 10 years ago. Just look at that expression on Dr. Scythe's face. It's the defense's right to cross-examine any witness following testimony. What is it about you Japanese that makes you all so doggedly persistent? Very well. If you so desire, counsel, proceed with the cross-examination. Yes, my lord. Okay, let's see where we're going with this. I guess maybe some pressing. From what you described before, it sounds like the note was anonymous. Did you have any idea of who was behind it? There are very few people in the know about what really happened 10 years ago to start with. But anyway, I'd never heard of this engineer, so no, I had no idea. Yet, despite not knowing who was behind the plan, you went along with it. I had no choice. Protecting the professor's secret was my only concern. But the horse has bolted now, and the stable door will never shut again. Scotland Yard's reputation will be immeasurably damaged as a result of all of this. Yes, thank you, Lord Von Zieks. I'm well aware of that. So, as I understand it, what you found in the birdcage was the waxwork model. Where then was the victim's body? Okay. So you knew about the special construction of the stage used to carry out the trick then? It was quite obvious what had happened with the victim and the waxwork. And you switched the two over, didn't you? In other words, you recorded the victim's body as having been discovered in the Crystal Tower, and the waxwork? I wrapped it and sent it by carriage to the specified address at the specified time. And why were you given such directions? Presumably so it could be recovered by the rebel and returned to Madame Tussauds. I see. And then you put the birdcage back on the experimentation stage. Yes. Although someone obviously made a mistake about which cage should go where. I thought I'd made it perfectly clear to the team, but still. I suppose you were focused on the victim's body, that being a more important detail. Okay. Body had to be arranged in certain ways to implicate. Okay, I think this one's very important, so I feel like I sense it. When you say arranged, I presume you mean with this. Yes. The instructions in the engineer's notes said something along the lines of fabricate some evidence to make it clear that Harebrain alone could have killed Asmund. So, you mean that was your doing? I fetched Harebrain's ridiculous screwdriver from the stage and took it with me, alone, to the abyss under the stage where the birdcage had fallen. Alone, Doctor? Interesting how you emphasize that you went there alone. I didn't feel it would be appropriate to involve anybody else in that particular part of the deception. There was a void under the stage where I found the birdcage lying in the dirt. I approached it, leaned down and slowly opened it up. Then I took the screwdriver in both hands and plunged it into the man's chest. Okay, so was he already dead or was he alive still at that moment? Because that makes a difference on who killed him technically. And then you noted that in your fake autopsy report as a fictitious cause of death. Well, we're saying fictitious because he was already dead, right? Exactly. So the actual cause of death was the trauma resulting from the 30-foot drop. Okay, so technically then it wasn't you. It's similar to other cases we've seen where somebody stabs someone who's already dead. It was him who killed him by causing the fall. My word. What is it, Mr. Sato? Something about Dr. Scythe's last statement. Uh-oh. Now you're making me suspect that she lied. Do we have evidence of... Because it said that, I mean, she could have lied on here, so it's hard to say if this is proof of anything. Hemorrhage of a wound to the chest that pierced the heart. Broken vertebra. I mean, you would think you would have died, but people can survive certain things. I don't know. I don't remember the details about, like, hemorrhage of a wound to the chest that pierced the heart. How are they gonna argue about, like, bleeding post-mortem versus bleeding while you're still alive, that kind of thing? It's playing on my mind, that's all. Yes, mine too. Dr. Scythe. There's really no need to shout. I can hear you perfectly well. The defense calls for you to add what you just said to your formal testimony. Oh? Which part? What I wanted to supplement our testimony with is... Oh... Do we want to go with the whole falling thing or her stabbing him? Because she said she stabbed him. Hold on. Hold on. Fall. Is there anything else? An apparent stab wound to the chest. Do we have... What else did she say? Trauma resulting from 30-foot drop. Took the screwdriver in both hands and plunged it into the man's chest. Is it the screwdriver? Distinctive handle. I mean, we've already examined it, right? Plunged it into his chest. Am I missing something? What am I missing? What are we arguing exactly? If we're arguing... So she found him and then stabbed him? What else do we have? I'm just trying to figure this out. Oh, this is tough. Real cause of death? I don't know. Are we gonna say the real cause of death, or are we gonna say that she did it? Oh gosh, I don't know. I don't know if we can say cause of death yet. Maybe we're jumping ahead. Maybe we have to, like, go through the angle of her part and then circle around to the real cause of death. I think that's what we have to do. How you stabbed Mr. Asmund in the chest. That part, yeah. Okay, let's focus on that. I hope I'm right. Fine, if that's what you want. But there's really no need to point. The prosecution concurs. Alright, we're good. So we're gonna go from that angle and then circle around to that being the real cause of death, right? That she killed him and not... So he was technically still alive even though he had like a broken neck or whatever. Poor guy. I mean, he was a jerk or whatever, but damn, bro. I mean, wouldn't he maybe have died anyway from his injuries? Maybe? Or maybe he would have been paralyzed. I don't know. But she saw him and she was like, just to make sure you're actually dead, let me just come and stab. Oh. Or maybe because he saw her and she's like, oh shoot, he sees me. I don't know if he was conscious or not, though.
Very well, you will supplement your testimony now, witness.
If you wish, my lord. I stood over the victim's corpse, where it lay in the toppled cage, and plunged the screwdriver into the chest. Press?
Hold it! So it was you who stabbed Asmund with this?
Yes, far easier than dissection, I assure you. No precision required.
What a welcome change.
The victim died instantly from a snapped neck. All I did was carry out the instructions I'd been given. As unflinchingly as ever, I know no doubt. I imagine you didn't bat an eyelid when you drove the weapon into his body. There was no need to bat my eyelids. A funny little exchange for some reason.
And what else did you do to twist the facts? Remind the court, why don't you?
If you wish. Oh. I thought that was it. No, that should have been it. Okay, let me at least try pressing this one.
But at what cost? Faith in Scotland Yard is going to suffer a terrible blow as a result of this.
And your precious secret is out now, anyway. Yes, as you say. And I take full responsibility.
Blow me down, Dr. Side. Surely there was some other way you could have protected the secret.
No, there really wasn't. I've done my utmost, believe me. In many ways, I respect your determination.
Ugh, I nearly froze under that cold stare as she said that.
I do believe she was being genuine, though, Mr. Naruhodo.
So that's her story.
She's admitted everything and revealed her full involvement in the crime. I do wonder if there could really be much more to it.
Well, I don't know, but I just have a feeling.
Do you, Mr. Naruhodo? The truth is, I find it strange, too. How those two are reacting to this in completely opposite ways, I mean. He's all serious and solemn, and she has this, like, evil grin on her face for some reason. Maybe because she's enjoying the fact that she's pinning it on him right now? I mean, he is to blame as well, but it's like, she's like, yeah. I don't know, bro. That's kind of, that's really creepy.
Yeah, yes, exactly. For some reason, I feel sure they're still trying to hide something.
Okay. Stood over the victim's corpse where it lay in the toppled cage. And plunged the screwdriver into the chest. What are we arguing here? Autopsy. Neck was broken. Stabbed in the chest. Screwdriver. Already looked. Distinctive handle. Oh! I think I know what it is. Oh, it's weird though. What does it mean? 'Cause you know that... Wait. Of course. The cage cage has... I mean, it is a weird shape, okay, I will say. But because it fell almost like falling down vertically, like down almost like an elevator shaft or chute, I guess it could land and stay vertical, right? That's why I had the damage on the bottom. Because why I was talking about how there's so much blood, but I didn't take into consideration the fact that the blood is trailing down his chest, his stomach and chest, you know? It would only do that if he was like in a position where it could move. Otherwise it would just, you know, stay kind of gather in one area and one level, but it's clearly moved downward. So yeah, but what does that mean? Like, why is this important that it was vertical? I mean, why would she lie? Why would she say that she stood over it and that it was... That is weird. Why? Okay, that's the only thing I can think of, because I keep looking back and forth and I just don't see anything else. Unless it's about to shape the screwdriver again, but maybe?
Objection.
Okay. I think that's it. Ooh, this is getting really tricky, you guys. Ooh, this case. Alright.
I've got a nasty feeling
I think that was a really hard one.
that this inconsistency points to an extremely uncomfortable truth.
It's probably, like I said, that she's the one who killed him, but I just don't know what difference him standing versus the positioning of the cage, like why that matters.
What on earth is the matter, Council?
Oh, I haven't heard this song in forever. It's so nice to hear it again. It sounds a little different, right? I think so. It sounds like it's starting off very quiet and slowly gonna build up. Oh man, I miss it.
What on earth is the matter, Council? Have you lost your tongue?
Is this like the cornered theme for them, right?
I apologize, my lord. Dr. Scythe, in that last statement of yours, there's just one point that seems to defy explanation.
Because it's defying gravity. No.
Out with it, my learned friend. There's an obvious inconsistency between your description and this photograph, which shows the victim in the birdcage following the events that led to his death.
Objection.
The court has already examined that photograph in depth. There's nothing new we can learn from it.
Objection.
Yes, we have already considered it. That's true. But we now know the facts to be different.
What do you mean?
I believe we should let the defense explain. Where in this photograph would we see the alleged inconsistency with the witness's statement?
Oh lord, I hope I'm right. Because if you're just blindly pressing, this is one of those that could get you. But it has to be the blood?
Take that.
Look closely at the bloodstain on the victim's chest.
Yeah! Yeah, I did it! Oh yeah! Gotcha.
It clearly extends in a downwards direction towards the man's feet. And why is that significant, Council?
Oh, this is a new image, right? I don't remember.
If the victim was stabbed moments before the kinesis machine was set in motion, that's entirely expected. Ah, of course. No, that's not what happened.
Exactly, my lord. Dr. Scythe made it very clear in her testimony just now that the point at which she stole Professor Harebrain's screwdriver and stabbed the victim was after the grand deception was set in motion, when the birdcage had fallen below the stage out of sight. From the shape of it, it's clear that the birdcage would have fallen on its side after the 30-foot drop. And if the victim had really been stabbed whilst inside the birdcage in that position, so it would have landed on its side? Oh. The blood from the wound would have spread out equally in all directions. For it to have formed the longitudinal appearance we see in the picture is inconceivable. So then what the hell happened? How is he still vertical? Given that the victim's blood seeped vertically downwards from the wound, it must be the case that when you stabbed Mr. Asmon, he was standing up. In short, Dr. Scythe, your latest testimony was a total fabrication. Damn, and it made sense too. So I don't know. Now I'm like confused. I knew it. I was right. Now I've identified that contradiction. There's only one way to explain the facts. You've all been under a great misapprehension here. What? What sort of misapprehension? Dr. Scythe. You claim you were coerced into helping Mr. Drebber as a result of the note he left in the waxwork. I think you were a little bit more of a willing accomplice than you let on, then. You claim that you made changes to the scene of the crime to implicate the defendant. And you claim that you authored a fake autopsy report to cover your tracks. But one of those claims is an out-and-out lie. Because the question of what the bloodstain really tells us has only one possible answer. If that is the case, what is it, man? Counsel, you've clearly struck upon a revelation. Now tell the court what it is. Which part of Dr. Scythe's story is shown to be a lie by the contradiction in her testimony? How she was coerced. I mean, she lied about the whole stabbing thing, but... right? Dr. Scythe, clearly you weren't really coerced by some letter at all. What? If you were, where's the note? It's nowhere to be seen. Good point. That's as may be. So why don't you present it to the court, if the assertion vexes you? Oh, nice. Obviously, I've already disposed of it, and I'm not vexed in the slightest. Counsel, need I remind you that it was you yourself who established the coercion? Oh! I'm wrong. Oh, shoot. Okay. I'm afraid that little cry is insufficient recompense for such a blunder. I shall have to penalize you. Ah, damn. I thought she was willing. Okay, fine. Feeling vexed, my Nipponese friend. Very. I have so many oopsies. No, this case has been a curse. It's been hard, though. Very. But there's no question the coroner's testimony was built on a tremendous lie. What? The stabbing? We already have to say that again? The autopsy report? We already discussed the stabbing? I'm a little thrown. I guess we have to mention again the stabbing, right? Sure. Oh, I hope that's right this time. Like, y'all, come on.
The answer is very simple if you consider the sequence of events. If, when the victim was stabbed, the blood from the wound seeped downwards, as it did, we can be sure that the victim must have been either sitting or standing upright at the time.
Okay, so, yeah.
But as you rightly pointed out, the birdcage would have fallen on its side when it fell beneath the stage.
Yes, it would, which tells us that the victim must have been in that position of his own accord.
What? What? What do you mean? Are you saying after he had his neck freaking broken or whatever, injured, he moved? That he got up? Stood up out of the cage? Bruh. I'm so, like, shocked. I'm shook. This is the biggest twist for me. What are you, a freaking zombie, sir?
Objection!
That's impossible. The man was dead, remember?
No, that is the misapprehension. When the birdcage fell from the stage into the void below, it must have hit the ground with considerable force.
Oh my god, how did you still move? How?
But Mr. Asmund didn't die in the fall.
You monster. You freak. Sorry.
He probably lost consciousness for a while, but when he came round, he got to his feet to climb out of the cage. Just as Dr. Scythe appeared.
Damn, bro.
He was probably like, oh my god, I survived. Whew. What a close one. I'm really effed up, but I survived.
And then, bam, gets killed. Dang.
If the victim was in fact alive at that point in time, it changes everything. Mr. Odie Asmund's killer wasn't the defendant, Professor Albert Harebrain. Nor was it the mastermind behind the stage trickery, Mr. Enoch Drubber. It was you, Dr. Courtney Scythe.
Ah! There we go. Gotta.
Order, order, order! Can this possibly be true?
Have you been taking me for a fool? It was you, was it? You killed him? She lied to him, too.
You hoped that by admitting to being an accomplice in Mr. Drubber's scheme, the trial would end, before you were accused of a far worse crime. Cold-blooded murder.
Oh, do shut up. You're so desperate now, you're making all this up. As if I would do something like that.
Objection!
Oh. Susato. Very rare, but it happens.
I assure you, the defense is not desperate, Doctor. Mr. Naruhodo has established the facts using evidence and logic alone.
Huh! Logic. Don't make me laugh. Sadly, your logic has a gaping hole in it.
What do you mean?
I'd have thought it was obvious. A motive, boy. You're lacking a motive. What possible reason would I have to kill Mr. Asmund? Osmond was involved in any number of criminal activities, from coercion to theft to murder. There is no known connection to Dr. Scythe there.
Maybe just seeing her was enough? I don't know, man.
I'm rather relieved to say it does seem somewhat far-fetched. True, there's no obvious motive. There's still something in the back of my mind. I feel sure I've seen something somewhere that hints at why the coroner might have done this.
Have I? I just spent such a long time looking at this court record and I don't know. Autopsy. Camera. Waxwork. I don't know. I didn't see anything.
Yes, I might have tampered with the crime scene and concocted a fake report. But murdering someone for no reason is a very different story.
Objection!
No. And you question what possible reason you could have for wanting to kill Mr. Asman. Something did come to mind.
What?
What was it, Counsel? Enlighten the court at once.
Oh no. I don't know! Is it connected to the professor?
Yes, we saw it yesterday, didn't we? Something that seemed strange, but we had no reason to suspect it at the time.
What?
There's a particular object that explains why Dr. Scythe would have wanted to kill Mr. Asman.
A particular object? We saw yesterday. The iron mask? That has to do with the professor. Scalpels. That directly has to do with her. There was something about scalpels, wasn't there? What was it? Oh god, it's been so long. Dang it, that's the problem with how long this case has been. I've been recording this for so long now. And then that break I took. Shoot. What was it about the scalpels? I don't remember. Oh no. Oh, and I have so many penalties. No. It's not the screwdriver. It's either the mask or the scalpels. I feel like it's the scalpels, but I don't know why. What was it? Something about... Oh, they were examining her office, her cool office, and... Like, I think they saw, like, a log of, like, she had ordered a lot? Or they go through a lot or something? But what does that have to do with it? I don't know. I'm gonna just go with this. Because it feels random, but it's not.
It's a scalpel, or rather, scalpels. Did you say scalpels?
Okay, I guess we're right.
It would appear that word has struck a chord, Doctor.
You. Come on, out with it.
It was yesterday, and we visited your laboratory.
Yeah, I was right. Okay, so in the book...
Look at this big, thick book here.
That was when I had first examined, the one object I missed examining that they kind of forced me to go back and examine again was the book. Because this was important, clearly. The scalpels. Yeah, okay.
It appears to be an accounting ledger. It's a record of the forensic investigation team's spending, I think. Oh.
What is it?
It's clear that the team purchases various equipment and supplies on a monthly basis, but... Well, one entry seems rather strange.
Really? In what way?
They're buying 500 scalpels every month.
Right. Which doesn't make any sense, because it's like, you should not be going through that many scalpels unless you're like losing them inside people's bodies. You know? That's ridiculous. So clearly the scalpels must mean that she's like actually using the money for something else and she's just putting it down as scalpels then? But what does that have to do with Asmon? Is she paying him? Is he blackmailing her and she's paying him and that's what that is? That's all I could think of. Because that's what he does, right? He's a jerk.
$500 scalpels a month. At first, I wondered what on earth you could be using that many scalpels for. But actually, I realize now it's not the scalpels themselves that are significant. It's the money for them, disappearing every month from the department's accounts.
Asmin's criminal organization relied heavily on extortion for its funding.
Yep.
Tracing the money from the forensic investigation team's account to find out where it was going would be extremely straightforward.
10 years ago, Mr. Asmon was still a journalist and wrote this article about Mr. Drever. He may well have stumbled upon information as he was researching the story.
Yep. Maybe he knows the truth about the cover-up of the professor and how she's involved and why.
Information relating to Dr. Scythe's darkest secret that he would use to rack money from her for the next decade.
That's a big motive, alright.
A dark secret? Good lord, you mean? I don't know what happened on the night of that execution 10 years ago. But clearly, the opportunity to rid yourself of that menace was too tempting to pass up. So in the end, you weren't coerced at all, were you?
I was right! Why? Dang it! I still got penalized for it. Ugh. Makes me sad. Take back that penalty, Judge. Come on, man. I was totally right. I know she did it of her own free will. I'm crying. Alright, whatever. Let it go, Pinks.
You did it entirely of your own free will. You stabbed Mr. Asmon in the heart with all your might. To silence the blackmailer who knew your dark secret forever.
You'll never understand. None of you. What we've had to keep covered up all these long years.
I am scared. I am scared about what this secret of the professor, this execution is. I have ideas, I have thoughts, but I don't even want to say. I don't want to say.
As very little of the machine remains after it was ripped apart by the bomb. The truth of this case can never be properly established unless you speak out.
And if you decide not to, it's very possible that Courtney Scythe will escape punishment for her crimes. Please, sir, own up to what you've done and tell the court the truth about what happened. I mean, you're still going down as well, but like, come on, dude. She kind of played you as well. You played her and then she played you back.
10 years ago you told the truth, and you've robbed of a bright and successful future as a result.
Yeah, I actually do feel kind of bad for him in that case. You know, no wonder he's so bitter and angry and like turned against the world. Nobody wanted to believe him.
I can certainly understand your bitterness and your consternation now. However, This is surely the chance you've been waiting for. To sever the hold that fates had over you all these years.
Super high voltage, instantaneous kinesis. I mean, really. It's the addle-brained mock scientists that are the worst, you know. They don't recognize the fact that they don't have talent. They can't even get that right. And so they end up chasing impossible dreams, having unbridled faith in their abilities. They go on and on about their wonderful hypotheses, their stupid eyes shining like a little child's. I mean, he has a point. Harebrained really frustrated me during the early parts of the trial, and that's his character. And this guy's actually describing it very accurately. He is naive, he's stubborn, he thinks he was right, that his hypothesis was like putting it on a pedestal, you know? Like he just wanted to put that above everything else. He didn't even, like, he was putting his own life at risk. It was crazy. It's like they lose common sense. They lose touch with reality. So he's totally right about that. But on the other hand, Harebrained is not a bad person. And he does have this pure love and joy when it comes to science and creation and inventing. So it's like, yeah, he's a naive, innocent, dumb child. And you were gonna have him go to prison for something he didn't do, which is horrible. And I understand that you're bitter and angry, but like, come on, man. The guy was annoying, yes, but he didn't deserve that. I wish somebody would tell him exactly what I just told him. Like, ugh. You know? I really wish somebody would have like a come to Jesus talk with these people. Like a come to Jesus. Like, we need a character in these games who would be like a come to Jesus. Like not even like religious come to Jesus, but like you need a reality check, a wake up call, like tell it like it is in their face. Like I want that kind of character. You know, like a really hard-hitting, no nonsense kind of person. Like not a jerk, but like an honest, like down to earth, nice person. Be like, y'all, calm down, like please. I forgot. I think I've seen an anime or a manga. I feel like I've seen it somewhere that there was a character like that, and everybody loved that character. And I can't even remember who I'm thinking of. Because they're such a rare creature that everybody's like, man, we need more characters like this. It's like, why don't y'all just listen to them? They make me sick. I can't abide their foolishness.
Careful, Mr. Jabba.
I was particularly pleased with the Kinesis machine. It made for quite a show, didn't it?
So you admit it. You admit that it was nothing more than a sham made for the purpose of killing the victim.
Yes, I admit it. I did it all in the name of revenge.
Ah, feels good. I got him. Revenge for the future that Mr. Asmund's article had deprived you of 10 years earlier. But the revenge you sought didn't stop at Asmund, did it?
Which is where that very particular waxwork comes in. Yes, I see.
The condemned convict that you saw rising from the grave in Lowgate Cemetery 10 years ago. If your account of those events was all true,
Then obviously Scotland Yard couldn't afford that to acknowledge what had happened. Even if it meant discrediting a bright young man and crushing any future career he might have had.
So your plan required that you abduct that particular waxwork model in order to exact your revenge on Scotland Yard as well. Or on Dr. Scythe, to be precise.
It was a year ago. By some extraordinary twist of fate, Asmund turned up at my workshop. He didn't remember who I was, of course. He just wanted to employ my services as an engineer. And he happened to have a paper with him. An article on the front page caught my eye about the coroner who'd handled that bogus autopsy being appointed head of a new forensic team. When I learned that news, my cognitive processes started to devise the plan.
What a horrid tale.
He robbed me of my future, so I wanted to use the man's own wiles against him for revenge. And have that rotten Scotland Yard eating out of my hand at the same time. I wanted them all to suffer the same humiliation I'd had to suffer.
Your actions against those who'd ruined your future were justified as revenge. At least, to yourself. Certainly, no one has the right to destroy another's prospects, especially for purely selfish gain. And yet, in carrying out your plan, you did exactly that to someone else, didn't you?
Did I?
Professor Harebrain's only crime was passion for his hypothesis. But you had no compunction about sacrificing his future to effect your revenge.
Thank you, Ryunosuke. Give him the talk.
You knew that he would be forever branded a failure and a fraud. Perhaps life treated you unfairly 10 years ago, and others' misconduct left your life in tatters. But remember this. Your own actions resulted in exactly the same thing for another perfectly innocent young man.
Get him. That's exactly what I wanted him to hear. I. Yeah, that's right. That's right. You're just as bad as the rest of them. Finally, it's over. I'm so happy. At last.
Lord Von Zieks, what of Dr. Scythe?
An immediate warrant for her arrest has been granted, and she's remanded in custody, my lord. I presume she will face trial in the coming days, along with Mr. Drebber.
A most regrettable situation indeed. She's made great contributions to her profession over the years. It really is a hard truth to swallow. However, that is a topic for some future occasion. For now, Professor Harebrain.
Oh, yes.
It seems there was a great deal more to your experiment than you realized. However, I think we can assume now that all the sordid details have been brought to light. This has been a very long,
Yes, thank you for mentioning that.
and profound trial, but I'm pleased to say you are absolved of all guilt.
This whole experience has taught me a very great but painful lesson. I've been, me, this dedicated scientist, this devotee of natural philosophy. I've been selfish and self-centered, and above all, a fool. I'm glad you learned, honey.
Professor.
I've spent my life thinking of nothing but my research, misguidedly believing that I could do whatever I set my mind to despite my lack of talent. And the worst of it is, in the process I've caused others pain and misery. Others who are far, far greater people than I.
No, Professor, that's not true.
Aww. That's so cute. Yes, he's your friend. Of course you're gonna want to cheer him up. What?
Don't tar yourself with the same brush as Trevor. What happened was his doing, and his alone.
Man, I really ship it. I think you guys are cute.
This outcome is his fate, not yours. You're not to blame in any way.
Lord Von Zeeks.
And the derision with which he referred to you earlier, calling you a fool, talentless even. The man has no idea. To believe in yourself and work your fingers to the bone to realize your dreams. That's laudable, not laughable.
Aww, you softy. Cute. You guys are cute.
No one has the right to deride another for such choices.
Oh, Barack, my bae.
I love you too, bae.
Yes, yes. Get a room, you guys. Get a room. Thank you, Barack.
So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury,
Yes, my lord.
it is this court's expectation that you find the defendant not guilty of the charge of which he stands accused. I presume there are no objections?
Done for me, my lord. Certainly not. This trial has really made me think, but this is the right decision.
It's all been proven methodically and rigorously. I have no misgivings whatsoever.
Huh? What's that? It's done, is it? It's all over?
I don't know what's become of the yard these days. I don't recognize the place. Very well. In that case, I hereby pronounce the defendant not guilty. We're free at last, thank God. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Yes. Get our little fireworks going on inside a building. Yeah. Gosh. Took us forever, but we got there. Yay! Finally on to case 4. I'm hype.
Court is adjourned.
Alright, can I end the episode here?
It's over.
I don't know how long the after case thing is gonna be, but I could always append that to the next one. I've done that before. Right? I could do that. It's a little weird though. It's more satisfactory to have it all together, but I don't know how long it's gonna take. Because sometimes the after case stuff takes way too long. What if it ends up taking so long that it becomes its own episode? I don't know. What should I do, guys? Oh, dang it. I don't know. Should I leave it here? It's over, and you know what? So is this episode. I want to end it here. We're almost at an hour, so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. We will see the post case bit in the next episode, and then we'll be going right into case 4. I'm hyped for it. I'm excited. Thank goodness. Finally. Finally, at last. I hope you've enjoyed this. I'm excited. I'm relieved. I'm happy. So finally. All right. I'm also interested to see what little dialogue happens after the end of the case as well. Well, until next time. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.